Call this meeting to order. First order of business is approval of the August 26, 2025 minutes. Do I have a motion? Linda and Betty. Any changes or corrections? Okay, please vote. Okay, that's unanimous. Thank you. Informational items. We have a monthly financial report as of July 31st, 2025.
Good afternoon. Just some high-level, highlights to go over for July month-end financials. We're on track for revenues overall and for the revenue fund or the general fund. You'll notice in the report that we're below expenses to date, but just keep in mind some later payments such as debt service, they're a little larger come near the end of the year. Personnel, I think, is always a good gauge of where we are and where we'll be at year end, and we're at 52% to date for 58% expectations through the end of July due to some vacancies. So I think we're in a good spot for fiscal 25. State shared revenues you'll see outlined in your packet. There are a handful that are going to finish slightly above budget and a handful that are going to finish slightly below budget anticipated. So it's pretty much a wash there. No funds are below their fund balance reserve policy. The ending fund balance in July for all funds total $153 million, and for the general fund, $31.5 million, including PCAPs. General fund is $33.8 million fund balance. And then we have two distributions left for the year for PPRT, October and December. We've received $4.3 million to date and anticipate about $1.2 million remaining in the last two receipts, which is obviously below what we have budgeted, but we took that into account for fiscal 26 budget, and we'll be okay. It's just one of those really volatile funding sources. So that's all I have, unless anyone has any questions.
Are there any questions for Heather? Okay. Next is long-term care service fund report.
Yes. So we finished July with a $3.6 million fund balance, and interest to date earned on that fund balance is just over $68,000. We're still well on track to meeting the board's goal.
Any questions? Okay. Next is accounts payable, employee reimbursement, and purchase card account for August 2025.
Okay. So we have, trying to find, I had a note here, but there's so many pages to this report. I was going to point out, we did a final pay, I believe, on North Station at the highway. But again, I don't know what page that's on. So just letting you know, we did wrap up one project in August with a final pay, and I'll try to bring those to your attention at future meetings too, just so you know. When we have projects that are complete, it takes a couple months after completion to close them out and do the final pay, but I'll try to note that for all of you.
Any questions? Okay. Peoria County capital projects funding sources in progress.
Yes. So that's also in your packet, and like I noted, there's a lot of projects that are marked completed. Doesn't necessarily mean they're final paid yet, but we've wrapped quite a few up this year. We obviously still have a lot that are ongoing. So if you have specific questions on any, I can try and answer those.
Any questions? Do you want to go ahead and just add what we had talked about?
Yes.
Real quick at the back of this?
So we are on track to release the budget book next Tuesday, September 30th, as planned. And our small but mighty budget team has been working diligently to get this out on time. And Julie and Shelby are not in the room, but I want to give a shout out to them. They've been working tirelessly to make sure everything is accurate and just to get it out on time for everyone. So, yeah, it's a bigger task than what you can imagine or what we can describe to you, but we hope that you're happy with the end product also.
Well, I just want to add that we appreciate all the hard work you do, along with everybody else, our elected officials, our department heads. I mean, everybody works really hard to get this out so that the county board has time to review and ask questions. So we appreciate that. Any questions or comments? Danny?
When does the recommended budget go back to department heads, electeds, and then when does it get posted online?
Do you want to answer that, Administrator Sarah?
I'll try to. Mr. Phelan, would you mind repeating your question, please?
When does the recommended budget get sent back to electeds, departments, and posted online?
Posted online will be once it's distributed to the board members, so you get it first. Any changes between the request and the recommended are conversations that either myself and or Heather have with the department head, whether it be elected or appointed, going up, right up until when the book gets finalized and starts to be printed. So we had a couple of those conversations last week. We've got a couple more to have yet this week.
And then can you remind me the timeline for amendments as well?
Timeline for amendments pursuant to the county board's rules of order. The budget process works this way. Each committee has the ability to amend the recommended budget that is before the committee. Then executive committee and this committee will meet jointly, and they have the ability to endorse, reverse, or alter any amendment that any of the other committees has made. And then what comes out of that joint meeting is the final recommended budget. Any board member who wishes to make a floor amendment during the board meeting where the appropriation and levy ordinances will be considered has until 5 o'clock on the Monday of that week to file that notice with the committee chair, that being Ms. Williams, and myself.
Additional questions? Eden?
Can we also get a digital copy of the budget book? Is that something that's possible?
Yes, absolutely. It'll be published both electronically in PDF form, and for those of you that want a hard copy will be available.
Additional questions? Okay. Thank you, Heather.
Thank you.
Okay, we're on to resolutions. We have additional appropriation of $800,000 into the FY 2025 budget for the Township Motor Fuel Tax Fund. This went through infrastructure yesterday and it passed unanimously, just FYI. So can I get a motion to put this on the floor? Linda, second. Jennifer? Amy?
Thank you, Madam Chair. For those of you who are not familiar with it, the County Highway Department oversees the Township Motor Fuel Tax Fund on behalf of the road commissioners. When we did the budget last year, we didn't, it's this time of year, we didn't anticipate all the projects that the road commissioners might want to do. We try to estimate the best we can. They had a lot of work done this year, and so they're looking for additional appropriations. This is out of the fund balance. So there is funds available within the fund balance to appropriate to cover the cost of these additional projects that the road commissioners are seeking to do. And I'm happy to answer any questions or clarify if there's any questions.
Any questions? Okay, please vote. Okay, that passes. Thank you. Next, we are on to discussion. Scott, can you give us an update on the Washington D.C. trip that we had the delegation go was it last week?
Yes, it was last week, Madam Chair. Members Coates and Duncan and I went on the United Counties Council of Illinois flying. It was a very quick trip. We spent a half a day at the National Association of Counties offices getting information about some key NACO priorities and where those stand in the legislative process in D.C. Excuse me. We also had the opportunity to meet one-on-one with Congressman Sorensen, one-on-one with Congressman LaHood, and then we participated in a group meeting with Senators Durbin and Duckworth. All three of those meetings, the legislators were able to share with us their positions on a couple of different priorities. We talked to them about the federal budget and the continuing resolution that did come out of the House on Friday, but is now stuck in the Senate. We talked to them about the Ag Lab, and we talked to them about our legislative priorities that we had previously submitted for community-funded projects. And then in the meeting with the senators, it was more of a Q&A type session. We were part of a much larger group. There were roughly 40 to 45 of us with United Counties Council of Illinois, but the meeting with the senators was, I would say, about 120 people or thereabouts, and many different organizations from across the state of Illinois were there. And the senators took questions, probably I'd say maybe 7 or 8 questions in the little over an hour we were with them. And then we came home. So I think it was a pretty good meeting that we had.
Member Duncan or Coates, would you like to add anything?
I'd like to add that it was definitely rewarding experience for me to, first of all, travel with my, I say coworkers, to travel and to meet with these senators, congressmen. Certainly that was an experience to hear directly from them in regards to where they stand and be able to present to, they were actually asked us personally where we were and be able to respond. So I was certainly impressed with that and glad to represent all of us here. So I thank you all for this opportunity.
Thank you, Member Duncan. Okay. Any more discussion? Paul?
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Scott, how often are we supposed to hear from our lobbyist?
State, federal, or both? Because we have state lobbyists and federal lobbyists.
Both.
Yeah, state lobbyists. Our agreement and contract is with Anderson Legislative Consulting Services. We normally hear from them in the late fall, winter, when we're developing our legislative program. And then we normally have them come in the summer to kind of give an end of session report. Otherwise, during session, I'm in frequent contact, but in terms of reporting out to, say, this committee, I would say those are the times of the year that we look to do that. Federal lobbyists, and something that we discussed while we were out there, because we had a couple of minutes to talk to our federal lobbyists when we were in Washington last week, is we've gotten in the habit the last couple of years of having their team come to us in the fall as we start to prepare our legislative program for the upcoming year in the federal appropriations process. And then we obviously meet with them when we're in Washington, D.C. for the NACO Legislative Conference. I've got on my schedule recurring calls with them to keep abreast. And then every week attached to the administrator's update is at least one, sometimes two, depending on the frequency in which they come out, federal updates from that are published by the lobbyists that go out to all of their clients, just not us. So I would say, we've got we've got good lines of communication and good engagement from both sets of lobbyists. I will share also with Cozen, if you recall, when you awarded that contract, former Congressman Davis was the principal that was assigned to our account. Roughly 7 months or so into that engagement, he received an unsolicited ask to lead the government affairs division of the United States Chamber of Commerce, and that was an opportunity that was too good for him to pass up, so he took it. And we were assigned two partners in the organization. One had direct House experience on staff, both with the congressman and with committees of the House, and another one the exact same on the Senate side. We've learned as part of our trip out to Washington that we're going to get, been assigned a new partner and a new team because those two individuals have left Cozen. Our new partner that has been assigned to our account has extensive experience in the House and previously worked for NACO. So she actually understands county government very well. And she is the only person in the firm that has county governments as her clients. So she also has a county in Colorado and a couple other counties that are clients in addition to us. And she brings with her a team of two other individuals that will be able to provide us, I think, the same or better level of service that we've been getting.
So you've had an opportunity to meet, or?
Yes, we met. I met. Her name is Jessica Monahan. I was able to meet Ms. Monahan in between some of our meetings, face to face, along with the other two individuals that are going to be assigned to our account.
Additional questions, Jennifer?
When does our contract with Cozen end?
I believe it's a 5-year contract, and we're finishing up year 2.
Okay, thank you.
I believe. I'll have to look.
Paul?
Thank you. Scott, your personal opinion, do you think we've lost some ground by having so much turnover with Cozen there? That, when you get that many people and then they keep changing like that, because out there it's relationships that building to get things done. So do you think we lost ground?
That definitely was a concern of mine when I got the phone call from Madison that he and Kyle were leaving. But the team that we have now hasn't missed a beat. They were with us when we met with Congressman LaHood and Congressman Sorensen, and have relationships with many members of Congress and in both sides of both chambers. So that was definitely a concern, Member Rosenbaum, but I feel very confident that we're in a good position.
Steve, didn't you have your hand up? Okay, all right. Danny?
I guess similar question to what Paul asked is, I remember back to our first conversations on it, and it kind of revolved around what our return on investment would be and how much gain we would have. We also talked about other lobbyists locally for municipalities and the successfulness of acquiring dollars. When I think about that conversation, I don't look at this as being a successful relationship. I mean, we're almost halfway through, and I can't think of too many bullet points other than communication that has been provided.
Well, I would argue, Mr. Phelan, that a couple of things. One, former Congressman Davis was instrumental in lobbying on our behalf to receive a community project funding request from Congressman LaHood. That was phase 1 engineering for the upgrades and improvements to Radnor Road. Congressman LaHood, through lobbying efforts, did include in his FY25 project requests, Phase 2 engineering for Radnor Road, but the Congress never approved any projects for FY25 because they didn't approve a federal budget. And then when the appropriations process for 26 opened up in February, March, both Congressmen LaHood and Sorensen said that they were going to recycle their 25 requests and not accept new requests. So on the House side, I feel like we've done about as well as we could do. Yes, Congressman Sorensen did not pick a project that we lobbied for and submitted to him. But at the same time, in the Senate, we heard in Public Safety Committee that we're going to be starting the Opportunity Court here in the next month. The startup costs associated with that project were a community project funding request for Senator Duckworth. And again, the lobbying efforts of Cozen helped us secure that project funding as well. This for FY25 and FY26, we strategically looked at the projects that we wanted to propose, and there wasn't one that was a good fit for the Senate side, so we didn't actually submit one to the Senate side. So again, having any one of the iterations of the Cozen team with us, we might have just blindly submitted a project to Durbin or Duckworth or both of them, and their counsel was, that's not a good fit. We should focus our efforts over here in the House on these projects, and then everybody, including us, ran into the buzzsaw of the Congress not adopting a budget for FY25 and doing a series of continuing resolutions. And we find FY26, currently in the same place. Again, the project that Congressman LaHood supported from 25, he did submit it for FY26, but the Transportation and Housing and Urban Development Committee's subcommittee on appropriations, that project did not come out of the subcommittee, not for a lack of lobbying on our effort, but there's only X number of projects, and the federal government is much smaller going forward than what we've seen in the past, and so it's yet to see what's going to happen with projects, but not for a lack of lobbying effort, I would say.
I guess I would say that I think there's a strong relationship to Congressman LaHood in the area. So I look at that as being a slight stretch in them playing a significant role in getting those dollars here, but that's not to discredit them. If you would, I'd like to see a list of what you think, what funding has come back from Cozen, or Cozen has had a direct impact into the county.
We can certainly prepare that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Danny. Any other questions? Okay. So we are at public comment. Do we have any public comment? Miscellaneous? Okay, we're adjourned. Thank you.